Thank you.
Eric to Foster City. So it looks like
At the Crown Plaza buffet.
at the Chris.
That sounds gross.
Jan Wayne Swayze presents the FREE99 podcast. Be sure to follow us on SoundCloud, iTunes, YouTube, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Twitch, Instagram. Search FREE99 podcast. Shout out to all the sponsors. Shout out to all the listeners. Jan in the building doesn't have a mic. He's waving vigorously. Hello.
Hey,
Jan.
Rommel in the building.
Microphone checker, swinging sword letcher, close down the sector, supreme neck protector.
Oh, I'm the good one, guys.
Rock Wilder.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, he did that.
I did that.
I'm the
Mr.
good on me,
Math.
Gus, customer service. Episode 180 to FREE99 podcast. And Rommel, please introduce this great energy in your room right now. Please introduce.
All right. Tonight is a special night. Not just me, but for the entire FREE99 podcast.
Y'all are welcome, everyone.
I'm about to stand on my fucking soapbox for a sec. See, kids these days don't have the slightest idea of what a movement is. Tricked by social media, they feel that they're at the forefront of whatever change takes place, only to be forgotten as the next fad steals away their attention. Back in the early 2000s,
You better talk.
century, I did not have that luxury at my fingertips. So when these two individuals helped forefather the surge of Filipinos in hip-hop,
Come on, man.
I held each
man.
memory tight as I also participated in the fight.
There we go.
These two make up half of the group of LMNOP, each with their own signature style. Beetiki, injecting his Oakland upbringing behind a voice that cuts deep like a butterfly knife. Emassin, who juggles vocab effortlessly to create thought-provoking rhymes
That's a great sweater, by the way.
about harsh realities and observations.
Come on, man.
And this is only half of the group. Much love and appreciation to G's with his charm and smooth delivery. C-Rock with his one-of-a-kind construction of beats and rhymes that provide that West Coast boom bap. And last but not least, in my eyes, the mastermind of the group, Dex Beats, who lived and died for the music and art and will continue to live on. Dex Beats forever.
Dex Beats forever. Let's get a
Give
toast.
it up.
Let's get a toast.
I'm going to introduce the
Please.
two people who I can admit now that I looked up to and admired. My brothers Vince Cruz
Hey.
and Eric Sabito, Beetiki and Emassin, and LMNOP.
Thank you.
Hey, sorry. I didn't know you weren't done yet.
Yeah, I know. I didn't know I wasn't done yet either. Yeah, man. Really, thank you both for coming on the show. This really means a lot. Yeah.
Thanks for having us.
No, that's amazing because I was not in y'all circle, not even in y'all ages, and I remember hearing about LMNOP. And first I thought I was like, what does that stand for? And then I seen how it was spelled. I was like, that's pretty fucking clever.
Yeah,
it's an element.
that's all Dex.
all Dex.
That's all Dex.
Branding, right?
Yeah.
Branding. I fell in love with it, and
Dex, yep.
I thought it was super dope. And just please, like, how did this formulate to be? Like, how did this group LMNOP?
man.
Like, what's the origin story? Like, who did y'all fight in the mall? What was
Damn.
Or like step up to in the bathroom.
Stop
Yeah.
Damn.
We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about that.
Because I don't remember it.
Yeah.
So, all right. You want me to jump into this? So,
I'm sure we have different stories.
Yeah, so let's see if
Perspective is
it matches.
everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, LMNOP's like,
Get a little closer.
a little closer. LMNOP's kind of like a bunch of like dudes that ended up transferring to El Camino, right? So none of us were like, you were slated to go there. We just transferred there, either your freshman year or sophomore year.
Okay.
I'm an Oakland kid, right?
I
So
didn't know that.
Town shit.
yeah, so I'm from East Oakland. Raised there. I was actually let me bring it back though. I was born in San Francisco, St. Luke's. Right?
Hey yo.
And,
Rep checking.
and so I did move to the Philippines for a while. I came
what?
back.
Ooh,
Yeah.
international
know
streets,
that.
boy.
So my pops was passing. Let me get deep, right? So my pops was passing. We lived in the Philippines for a while. I came back over here. So I came back. I couldn't even speak English, man. So I actually was living off the mission, and we were living like near Prague Street. So I remember we were living in a garage, and my mom saved enough money to move us to Oakland. So we moved to Oakland like about 89. We moved to Oakland, 88. And so my whole life until when I met you, when I ran through and you know, met all of y'all, my whole time here, you know, everybody thought I was from here, but no, I was driving every day from Oakland. This is before the damn BART was built in front of El Camino.
Yeah, for real.
So I was stuck in traffic every morning. I was going through my thing because, like, you know, when you move, you don't know nobody. You don't know who you are. So, I mean, luckily for me, I met our homie Cheeto. So Cheeto became, you know, one of my best homies. And Cheeto's brother... Carlo.
Yeah. Shout
I
out
used to
Carlo,
hang
Cheeto.
out with Jeezy. So that's how I met Jeezy. But
Yeah.
before Jeezy came over, that's how I met Eric. I met Dex. We all had like PE together and shit like that.
Oh,
And
y'all didn't do shit during PE.
nah. But
I don't even
but
remember
basically
this.
I feel like
I
a
don't remember
cipher.
having
yeah.
this.
But basically we all figured out that we all could actually rhyme. Eric, I met Eric. We were talking about Newmar earlier.
Shout out to Neymar.
He used to live right across the cul-de-sac from Newmar.
Yeah.
And so one day
in the city, right?
No,
No,
right
Plymouth
here.
Circle.
Plymouth Circle.
Plymouth Circle, yeah.
Wow.
DC.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so
right near Sean Evaristo too.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
By the OG Best Way.
Which
Best,
one?
right? Best
I don't know.
service merchandise kind of. No, never mind. Sorry.
Oh yeah.
Never
Okay.
Yo,
Westboro
never
Square,
mind.
right?
Yeah, shout out to Pack and Save.
So one day I'm like kicking it in front of Newmar's house, and I hear this fool calling me from his balcony. If you remember this,
Yeah.
he was calling me, and then
I don't
that
even
sparked
remember that.
everything.
Okay.
On some
That's how I
shit.
kind of met Eric like that, right?
And he's been my hero ever since.
Yeah, we got tight, and then we started rhyming together. Eric at that time, I don't know if you remember E, but he had a different persona every year.
Yeah.
And at that point,
I was trying to find my style.
Yeah,
Yeah,
your afro just got a little bit
Yeah.
smaller.
So I mean, that's how we met. That's how I kind of started getting tight with E. And then Dex was a Policita kid. So
Shout out to TRP.
yeah,
didn't
so
know that.
Dex
yeah.
and Nino.
Dex,
And
Nino,
Dave.
Jamie, the
And the
twins,
twins, yeah.
they were all from Policita. So they transferred to El Camino. And we're all these kids that didn't have a circle that was gonna go to El Camino, right? We weren't, you know what I mean? So then we were like the, what do you call them? The outsiders.
Outsiders.
Yeah.
Outcasts.
Y'all was NWO before NWO was NWO.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then so that was our common ground. We were just all from different places and we all vibed, right? So, and then later on came Jeezy and later on came C-Rock, right? So
Yeah.
C-Rock was the
Oh,
beat
yeah,
maker.
that's right.
So
Oh, yeah,
let's
he
go
didn't come
here.
out of nowhere. C-Rock did come
Charles,
out of-
right?
Yeah, he
Charles.
came from,
yeah.
where would he came? He came from
Fairfield.
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 Yeah, Fairfield.
The Flats.
Yeah.
Classic Charles.
Yeah. So
What-
go ahead.
Yeah,
what's
your
version?
perspective? He's like that.
How LMNOP was born, maybe. Okay, so here's kind of like the beginning, like his story, and then a little bit after me, Tiki, Dex.
Yep.
Were invited to perform at this open mic in Berkeley on campus.
Oh, yeah.
We were in high school,
How old were you guys?
Was it
junior
Yeah,
year,
Juniors?
maybe early junior.
Yeah.
Were you guys named anything yet?
No, that's the
Okay.
thing.
Okay.
And then, but we needed a name because the lady, she was like this, like really crunchy, hotel lady,
yeah,
right?
earthy,
yeah. She's
okay.
like, come to the open mic and you guys can perform.
Not
And it was just
Champa.
like Knock Champa was burning, snapping, happy. It was a
Hair
'90s,
looked like
late
sage.
'90s,
You
late
can probably see
'90s.
your aura.
Yeah, and it was on Berkeley campus, so
Yeah.
all of us were like,
That's
you
kind
know,
of
just
dope though. That's a
Yeah.
big flex as a junior.
How did that even happen?
I don't know.
I think we just around. We had open mics.
Yes.
It
You had,
was
like,
okay.
Rasputin
No, we were
records?
hanging out on Telegraph. Like we all probably cut school one day, went to Telegraph, and like maybe ciphering, and then
Ate hella shrooms and just kicked
I remember we met her somewhere else in Berkeley during the day.
Yeah.
And then she gave us a flyer for the open mic and told us to come and perform. And we were rhyming, but we never had any songs, anything
Yeah.
like on
Yeah, we didn't know who we
record.
what we
didn't-
were yet.
So
Yeah.
we needed a name, and we're just like thinking on the
Yeah.
drive there. It was me, you, Dex, right?
Yeah,
just us
it was
three,
just us
and his
three.
sister's RAV4. Driving to Berkeley, which seemed like miles
Hella
away.
long.
Yeah. And then Dex is like LMNOP, and we're like, no, whatever. But then me and Tiki were like, what does that stand for? and then Dex is like, we'll figure it out later. It could come. It's just an acronym.
Yeah.
So like that's how it started.
It stick to your ribs.
It
Like,
stick to your, yeah. So and then later on, Dex spelled it out, LMNOP, and we're like, okay, cool. He was like the creative,
Yeah.
Yeah.
For
so
sure.
creative. And then funny thing, we did that open mic. I think we just kind of did freestyles or writtens and stuff like that.
What was the
Yeah.
beat that was used? One Dex's?
I don't
Probably
know.
like Try
No,
Like
no.
12.
So Dex wasn't really making beats like that.
Dex,
back
yeah,
then.
yeah,
He
yeah.
was Element back
Yeah.
then.
He was Element. I think it was silent. Or you know those open
Yeah.
mics in the
Oh,
past.
yeah.
Spit.
You just
It
go
was
up there.
Ooh, spoken word.
And we spoken word, but we rapped, you know.
Yeah.
So that was kind of like different for the spoken word scene. And we were young, and then we were so excited when we got there, and then we like performed, and we're just hype. And then when
Yeah.
we were walking back to the car, we're like, "Where'd you park?" And we spent like maybe like
we couldn't find a
we
damn whip.
literally
bruh.
an hour like
Oh, shit.
at night
I
trying to
forgot
look
about
for the
that.
car because we were so excited to go to this open mic.
Yeah.
You got a good ass
we,
memory. bro.
we were lost. We were walking around
As a
Berkeley
coach.
for like an
Yeah.
hour, literally. It was crazy.
Yeah, that was
So-
that definitely that was it, man. Like, you know, aside from us finally all just like figuring out we rap, right? Because like Dex was like a Policita kid. He had his thing. Me and E, we started hanging out earlier, right? But then E knew Dex. I just came later, right? Because I wasn't there freshman year.
Yeah.
So when we finally started kicking it, that's when we started ciphering, you know, in the hallways and on the steps. And that's what kind of started building this up as a group. Like we just found that what the fuck was going on, that's our common ground together, was just less rap. I mean, some of the shit was probably garbage back then,
Yeah.
but it was what we did.
You're
You know what I
kickstarting
mean?
everything.
It was our culture, and it was what we fucking lived for. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. From my perspective back then, I mean, you know, during lunch, you get word that there'd be a cipher, right?
Yeah.
It'd either be like next to the shop class, or it'd be like next to the side of like the
Somewhere off.
yeah, somewhere off,
In the-
right?
Yeah, hidden.
Yeah, and there was like no social media back then, you know, so it was just
None.
all word of mouth.
Yep.
Even some days, like there would be no cipher, and you go there, like, oh shit, nobody's here.
I remember that. I remember that because people started, because that's where we just like ate lunch to kind of
Yeah.
Yeah.
separate. And like when days we didn't want to rap, people would still come.
Yeah.
And we'd feel pressure. And like some days we're like, okay, let's not go there today. Let's just go to another place. So like, you know, we could be alone and just like kick it and be regular
yeah,
high school
Jesus.
kids.
Like,
That's
look at
the
that.
first time you got bit by the spotlight and shit.
Yeah.
I mean, it was wild back then, man. Cause,
It was.
because there was like, you know, I'm a year or a grade younger than these two and everyone else in LMNOP. Jeezy, who came in later, was actually a year above you,
Yeah,
right?
he was, yeah.
Yeah, and there was like a couple of people who like rapped even a year above you as well, like my brother.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, my brother
Your
was.
brother?
Yeah,
Yep.
he was just like a fucking rough kid, rapping and shit.
Wu-Tang.
Yeah, very
Wu-Tang,
Wu-Tang.
very Wu-Tang.
And then-
he kicked it with John.
Yeah,
Oh,
John
yeah,
Blaze.
John
yo, that
Blaze,
motherfucker-
yeah.
I think he is Wu Tang.
is
Yeah,
Wu-Tang.
yeah.
He is Wu-Tang.
Yeah,
Was
he
Wu-Tang.
embodies Wu Tang, dog.
If I had a name John Blaze, I would have those Johnny Blaze sweaters on deck.
He did.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
did.
On deck.
And he's just like,
He did.
I can imagine
And why?
I can imagine
Yeah.
him like looking through his fucking closet. He's like, which one, blue?
Which John?
Yeah, exactly. It's all the same shit.
It's Giants Day, more a black and orange one.
And then there was like a couple other kind of like groups after that, right? There was like Sherwin. Remember Sherwin?
Yeah,
He
yeah,
had like
yeah,
the
yeah,
PhD, the player, whatever the fuck.
yep.
Yeah, man. So it was just kind of like this very like energetic like period.
Yeah, it
and
was.
I'm not taking away from anywhere else, right? This is just kind of like our story.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like in Vallejo, I'm pretty sure there was
Yeah.
Filipinos rapping and shit over Taniqling or whatever.
For you guys, that whole cipher during lunchtime, that started because of you guys, though, right?
Yep.
Like someone else wasn't doing it before you guys. You guys, because you guys collectively were hanging out, and then ciphers just started happening, and then you guys were like the rappers.
Just for fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just for fun.
Yeah, I mean, it was
Pastime.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
just what we did, bro. Like, You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers used to do certain things, right? Go
There's
play
hoopers.
hoop,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And that was our
Even
thing.
though we tried.
Yeah.
We tried to hoop. We tried to
Yeah,
play
yeah.
football. I mean, it was fun. But
You played
this was-
football though, right?
No,
Didn't you?
so I did my stuff in the military as far as that goes.
Hey.
As far as touching base on coaching and shit like that I got into that because I'm an Oakland kid, right?
Yeah.
There's a big need for male role models or just consistency, and that's what kind of got me into that, right? My football stuff, my kids play football, I had my time in the military and shit like that, but really when it goes back to that stuff, that was just really me giving back to the community. That was
Dope.
my way of giving back structure to the community,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But going back to the lunchtime shit, bro, like you just brought me back because fuck, man, like
That's cool from an outsider's perspective.
Yeah.
It's kind of like
Yeah.
one of those guys that will show up like, all right, I'll eat the Subway sandwich somewhere else.
Well, so
It
No,
was a
but you
show,
were
right?
in it too. You
I
were
was in it. Yeah. So but the thing is, so that's the thing, right? So they had LMNOP, right?
Yeah.
And then I was in a group.
Was
with-
his hair always curly? This
No,
is like,
man, that's short, dog.
yeah.
I think you were bald.
No, it was short. It couldn't
yeah.
be curly. I didn't rise from the ashes yet. So
You perm your shit. You're lying to us,
bro,
No, it's real. It's real,
hey,
it's
do you
real.
perm yours? Eric, do you perm yours?
No, we're talking about you. He's fine.
That's my coach, dog.
That's like
That's your perm coach?
That's my perm coach. So
Sorry,
it's
go ahead.
funny because like it was me, Doug, the Guzman. Shout out to Doug. Shout out to Cliff.
And-
And so and Conrad.
JT.
Well, JT came on later, but they were LMNOP with the E's, and then we were the 4 elements without
Yeah.
the E's.
Oh,
And then so we would like hop into ciphers and shit. And, looking back, and JT and I talked about this, and it's kind of like there's a competitive spirit.
Oh, for sure.
It's because steel sharpens steel.
Yeah, for
Right.
sure. Always.
So here's a
100%.
story about how competitive this shit gets. So we used to like cipher during lunch. and
Can I
shit.
tell this?
I don't even
Both of
remember
us
this.
have very faint memories of this
go
story.
ahead.
And then I can fucking call my brother.
He relives this, I think.
yeah.
Like he's taking a shower.
I was like, no, because I'm like, I should have said this, man.
I should have said
I should
this.
have been like, ooh, let's bet.
I'm gonna tell you
It
right
was-
now,
it
man. I
wasn't-
don't remember any of it.
So we were like rapping during lunch and shit, right? And then I think it must have been in between 5th and 6th period. And I go use the bathroom, and Tiki's in there with like a couple of his homies. And he fucking steps up to me. He's like, yo, bro, you talking shit? And I was like, we were rapping, dog. And then my brother, I love my brother so much. He's older than me.
RBZ?
RBZ. He's smaller
What's
than
up,
me.
RB?
But he felt like the need to try to like stick up for me. And after school, he's like, where's he at? Granted, nothing was gonna fucking happen.
Nah,
But
your
did you
brother's
text your
cool.
Kuya like help?
No, man. We don't
Kuya's
text. I
cool.
sent him like a fucking paper plane and shit.
Kuya came through.
Or page. I look fucking like pager.
You have to page him.
But that's just kind of like how it was, right? It
Yeah,
was like
yeah.
this kind of like unspoken competition.
Yeah.
Steel sharpening steel. Even with Dex, dog.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you guys before I get into this little story I had from. Do you have any like funny, like very Dex stories?
Yeah, that was a question I had too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'll tell you mine.
Yeah.
In terms of the whole steel sharpening steel shit, this was after high school, right? And so I'm like fucking taking a nap, and I get a call from Dex, and he's like, "Yo, what are you doing?" And I'm like, "I was fucking taking a nap, right?" Or I might have been like too embarrassed to admit I was taking a nap. And he was like, "Yo, I'm at Jeremy De La Pena's house, who lived up the street."
Yeah.
He's like, "Yo, come through." I was like, "Okay." And then so I just come there, and he's like, "Oh, let's just freestyle," like hella like nonchalant and shit. I'm like, all right, and you know how Dex is, right? So he'll like be like, all right, let's just freestyle, and then they're freestyling whatever, and then he'll say some shit like, "Put your rhymes in wow," some shit like that. And you're like, only other MC in this bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
and then it's like the tension.
He'll
starts-
battle any
Yeah.
any time of
Yeah.
day.
Right. And it's-
Anyone, any time of
And
day.
it was like, this wasn't even like, I was like, we're both like shoes off. I think we're putting our shoes at that time. So our socks were like a little folded.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I just woke up from a nap. And we're just like fucking freestyling back and forth for like 45 minutes, dog.
Yeah.
Damn.
And I'm like, I gotta go back home, dog. And he said some fucking crazy lines that I don't think were written. And it just kind of was it showed like the genius of Dex.
Yeah.
But also kind of like that strong spirit.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
competitive spirit.
Yeah.
Yeah. He also fucking videographed my wedding.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Granted, the marriage didn't last, but
The video did holler to death.
yeah, video did. It lasted longer.
Hey.
Shout out to my baby mom. She's cool though. We're good.
Good video. Good
Good
video.
video. Do you guys have any like stories like that,
Bro, just you bringing up Dex and like him, just man, I mean, shit. We wearing sunglasses right now, but you know your whole intro, everything, man. Maybe we're wearing this shit to cover up some tears. No, it's like, but y'all like when you talk about his competitive spirit and you talk about like his drive and passion for the music. That's like so Dex, bro. Like, like Dex just had this funny way of just knowing when you needed him. You feel me? And I swear, to God, like. To this day, I'm gonna tell you this story, right? You talk about how Dex can impact you, and this is far beyond just when he was right here physically. Right. And this is the weird part about it, man. Every time I come to the Bay, since everything happened with Dex, every time I come with my family and I go pick up a rental car, it is a version of one of his cars. Oh, the same color, everything. So the first time I came out here when Dex was, passing, I pull up to my Avis rental car. Shout out to Avis, just kidding. But
hey, big shout out to Avis.
It's a white, it's a white Colorado truck, just like he used to roll. And then, this last time we just landed on Thursday night. I walk up to my rental car, and it is a maroon or reddish maroon, or whatever you call it. His GMC Arcadia, a new version. So every time I land here, man, and that type of stuff happens, I get this little buzz in my head that I'm like, yo,
I'd cry every time, dog. I'm not gonna lie to you.
So
he also had a love for American cars.
No, but just I just wanted to touch base on that. But Dex just had this thing where it didn't matter what happened. If you didn't know him, he would step into a place and he just had this weird way of just picking up a party. You feel me? Like he was just there and he had this vibe to him. I mean, shit, we used to have these shows back in the day when we would be on the road, and we used to drive my green ass Avenger, 96 Avenger, and it was called the Avenger Beezy, man, and it was our road show. That was our road car, and he would just do Dex shit. Like, we'd be in traffic, he'd tell me to stop, and he'd pull out, take a piss right in the divider. He didn't give a shit, right?
So I remember.
No. But like he would have these things too, man, where he would just, he just would, he would have these moments where he would like just text me, because we've all grown up, we've had kids, and we've had these situations now, and we've all kind of, we grew up a little bit, right? But then Dex would just know, and I could look at my phone right now, and I'd look at it and be like, T, you need a beat? And it would just come, just the same situation where he hit you up and said, let's cypher. Dex would know that, I'm living this grown-ass man life. I got 4 kids, and shit, I've been all around the world, been to war and back. But he would just have these...
Thank you for your service.
Thank you, man. He would just have these moments where he would be like, yo, Teak needs me.
Yeah.
And he would just be like, there's a beat in your inbox. And that type of shit is what gets me all the time, right?
Your energy.
So, I mean, that's the power of music, and that's the power of Dex, right? Is that I know, with technology and all this shit, when I'm like, yo, I need Dex, I pull up my Spotify, I pull up my YouTube, I pull up my text, and he's right there, right? So that's the beauty of this music, right? So intangible with it, like if I really look at it, like when we talk about the music and Dex and what Dex personifies and what Dex brought to us, it's that gel. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We right here right now because this right here. You know what I'm saying? So
also because you took a flight.
I
got the Arcadia. But for sure, Dex too.
But let me say this, man. You brought up that story, bro. And I do not remember any of it. I do not remember any of it. But here you go, man. You've been asking for a neti pot. And I've been listening.
Wow, bro.
And
apology
you just...
gift.
Shout out to all the listeners.
I apologize to anybody I ever stepped up to or did anything weird to.
He wanted the real
there
neti
you go.
pot.
Because my nostrils.
I took a box that said nasal cleaner, and he's like, "No, get the neti pot."
Get that.
Labels
Shout out
on there. It's very Rommel. We gotta be labels on there.
Yo, I'll be like,
they're like, oh, what's that beat? Why is it beatboxing every episode?
No, but go ahead. You tell your little stories, man.
Funny story. In Whole Foods, he was like, "Do you remember that time like we stepped to Rommel?" I'm like, vaguely, but it was fake. It was like we were just kids. Like it wasn't.
Yeah, we were kids.
It didn't
But I
feel
don't
real.
remember it. Was
It
that
doesn't.
high?
It didn't feel like real beef. It was just
yeah.
like let's
Yeah.
just do whatever we think.
But that's how passionate we were,
No,
man.
yeah,
Yeah.
and that's
Yeah.
the thing. It was never like, I mean, we've done numerous songs together, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And it's just kind of like it's just kind of like that passion, right?
Yeah, hell yeah.
That steel sharpening steel.
Hell yeah.
What was the first song y'all did together with Dex that he produced? What was the name of that song?
Shit, man, you bringing this in there.
That was like
This is back when he lived in San Jose.
Yeah.
And he went by an alias called Johnny Deeper.
Dex had a whole bunch of names.
Yeah. And his style was dark. It was like, but hip hop. If you think of like Mobb
Anticon?
Deep, if you think of Mobb Deep,
Yeah,
think even darker than
like goth hop almost.
like Mob John Deeper.
almost, yeah. And like it brought out a lot of like dark lyrics from us. I don't know if you remember Johnny Deeper, but
Yeah.
it would have been a Johnny Deeper beat.
Yeah.
Oh,
He
wow,
did it.
that was his alias.
He made an EP, the Johnny Deeper EP. I don't know where that is, but we were probably
Yeah.
on it.
Wow.
Yeah.
What year was this?
Oh,
It had to be like 2000. So
Something.
like when I left for the military, they kept rocking on. You know what I'm saying?
but he would come back
Yeah.
and then just record.
Yeah.
Like, spend like a whole day recording.
Yeah.
So
But if you look at like our catalog, like I know you guys see now, like we have the Three Kings, right? Still LMNOP, but very Three Kings. That's me, Dex, and Emassin. Our the thing that sparked that sound though was from the ground up, right? So
2005.
So we were
What song was it?
we did Stop and Look. So if you listen to that
yes.
song, it was actually a Godfather sample that he chopped up.
yeah,
And
it was a
Oh,
Duke.
shit.
Was it?
Yeah.
No, that wasn't a Duke Ellington. That
No,
was
no,
another.
no,
That was
yeah. Godfather or
Godfather.
something, right? So
Yeah.
so but it was the Dex Beats beat,
Yeah.
and that's where like as a group, everything we used to do was like all five of us had to be on every song. But it was until that project where we were like, you know what, we can do songs solo, we could do
Yeah.
songs by tandem, we could do songs by three of us. But that was the first song where it was me, Emas, and Dex, and it kind of solidified the Three Kings sound. So if you listen to the Three Kings album, it's a very Dex Beats, Emas, and
Yeah.
Tiki sound. Like it's
That's
a
like
specific
foundation.
Yeah,
sound.
go back to
Yeah.
that
That's
song.
foundation
That's a
to
good
what-
song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanna talk about kind of LMNOP as a whole, right?
Yeah.
Because it was from the ground up, and
Yeah.
I remember you guys opened up for Wu-Tang Clan, right? Or who?
Method Man.
Method
Yeah.
Man.
You guys
Method
opened
Man,
up for
yeah.
Method Man. And this was like this was back in
Is
the
that why
day.
your intro was Mr. Meth?
It wasn't, but yeah, now it is.
For sure.
Where'd you get that?
What show was that when you opened for Meth?
Roots? Was it? I mean,
No.
Roots,
So that was at the Fillmore.
Oh, those are
Fillmore,
two
yeah, yeah.
separate. Those are two.
Yeah.
Yeah,
separate.
you also opened up for the Roots. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Roots. Yeah.
And I think that's that was the crazy thing because we weren't seeing like a lot of I didn't see a lot of Filipino acts open up prior.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
shout out to everyone who came before.
Yeah.
Kunut Funk.
For real.
Big Nut Funk.
Big Nut Funk. Right.
Coop Nut.
Sorry.
Frisco.
Damn,
Yeah.
what was that?
Shout out to Coop Nut.
And then
Kunut
Rhymo.
Funk
Rhymo's been doing this.
Hell yeah.
Rhymo has been
Yeah.
doing this for a long
Yeah.
time.
Cumulus Confusion. That was his first.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was his
it was him.
first,
It was him
album.
in it was him in the Golden Ray, and they had a group.
Shout out to Rain.
Yeah,
Diokno.
yeah, Ray Diok.
That's my dog.
I remember I had that fucking cassette tape. It was like called Commercial Head Nodding, and no disrespect to them, but you guys were the one who kind of brought it to the forefront.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, our crew, Rhymo's crew, were coming up at the same time.
Yeah.
It was just we had that experience in high school with management, and I think that's what brought us to.
Please flex
the
on this
stage.
management.
Yeah,
what do you,
who,
what do you
you guys
mean
had
management?
management?
Yeah, please flex on
What
that
was the
management.
label called?
Man,
Vicious Styles Records. Vicious Styles
Yeah.
Oh
Records.
shit! You
Yeah.
were signed to a.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
we weren't signed.
This was the
We
problem.
were underage.
Yeah,
so
it was just management, right? But here was the
Booking
problem.
shows for y'all and shit.
Yeah,
booking shows.
But he was trying to turn us into like a
R&B.
R&B, rapping crew,
because
right?
that's all he knew. There was no
Yeah.
rap hip hop back then.
That's true. Yeah, there's like Kai.
Yeah,
Yeah, in the scene there was no hip hop. We had the Big Nut Funk.
Yeah.
They were I feel like they were categorized as hip hop, shout out, but we were like New York,
Well,
East Coast.
Yeah. Also,
Yeah.
there was that Filipino dude who rolled with Uncle Luke. He doesn't get
Talking about Two
I
Live
think
Crew?
I-
Yeah, Two Live Crew.
Yeah.
Fresh Hit Ice?
Yeah, is he Filipino?
Nah, he's Chinese. I think.
Oh,
yeah.
Fresh Hit
I
Ice.
take that shit back.
No,
Shout out
but
to Booty Bass.
But when we talk about like those opportunities that we had, it's pretty dope when you really go back to those times, because it was like, dude, there was like when we talk about just the passion of music, but there was also like a passion like outside of that is how do I fill up a room, right? How do I spread the word without social media? We were at at Kinko's and shit,
This is
printing
real
out
flyer
Yeah,
this is
yeah.
flyer
Flyers,
shit.
flyers,
Every
really.
college.
So yeah, we were
Fucking
just
did.
out there just
Articles on the back.
passing
like,
shit out,
Yeah,
right?
you had to be
Yeah.
outside during this time.
Yeah.
You had to
So
be
that was
outside.
huge, right?
I was going
Yeah.
to state at the time, and like in between breaks and classes, I was like in the courtyard passing out flyers and like.
I would be that corporate dude because I worked for KMEL.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I'd be the guy in the courtyard passing out all the jiggy shit. Like, Will
Dope,
Smith's
dope.
coming.
Oh,
Yeah.
dope.
You like go to Erica like, good luck with that hip hop show.
Paper flyer.
Exactly. And then you have like hella bass in your van and shit.
Yeah.
But I think that's an important thing to outline, right? Is that now like people like fucking Filipinos rap and they just think it's like fucking I can do it. But like
There's a reason why, though, right?
Yeah,
There,
there's a reason why.
there's a foundation that was built for you to get that stage, because it's not. How do I say this without sounding disrespectful? It's not. It wasn't easy, because as soon as like Filipinos started rapping, you'd be like, "Oh, y'all trying to be the Filipino Wu-Tang? It was
Yeah.
Filipino this, Filipino like EPMD." It was never just you're trying to be y'all, right? It was always a comparison. It was like, "Oh, they're tight for Filipinos."
yeah, exactly.
That was because
Yeah.
like I was all about it. I go to all those events, you know what I mean?
right.
And I see our people and I was like, damn, he can rap. I was like, I can't rap. I'll just watch, you know what I mean? I threw parties, and that was my like creativity. And I remember like when Storyville was like a real underground club, and you could still like do events there. Like that's where I caught y'all.
Maybe, yeah.
When it was
What street was that at?
Storyville, that was over by
Wasn't that
Storyville Street. No,
Storyville Lane?
no.
Pole Lane.
Pole Lane was Storyville.
Polling, okay,
was an
Fulton,
older
on
name.
Fulton, yeah.
Yeah.
I think we performed there a bunch of times.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing, right? Because Gus, you kind of had that like bird's eye view because you worked for the radio stations. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And after that, you were even kind of like curating different rappers for like different mixtapes and stuff yourself, right?
Yeah, just trying to help people out.
Dope.
Like it's just
Oh, look at that! All of a sudden, it's all honest.
Nah, but they're bangers though. You could go on
I got
the
EP,
website.
but-
Yeah, because the thing is that every rapper that he helped out, and he brought on the show, they show so much love to you. And you have to. I mean, just as much
It's
as
a
we're kind of
pioneer right here.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
Just
It's
as
a
much as
pioneer right here.
just as much as we're outlining y'all work and giving your flowers, Gus, you got to take that shit too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for real.
I heard him rap "We Eating"
Yeah.
in the song.
Hey, and
Ramel
you know
put me
who's on? You know who's on that song?
Who?
Brett Falco,
yeah,
aka Kumo B,
Kumo B, I'm on
aka
that,
Rommel.
He's the one that told me that, and I was like, "What?" And then you said it, and I was like, oh.
Yep.
Yeah, the beat was tight too.
It
That's
was. It was a.
pre-podcast.
It was a
As a-
sample, so it got taken off platforms.
Yeah.
But
I
it's
still
still on
got the link. I
Bandcamp.
still
It's still
got
on
the link.
Bandcamp.
Put it up.
Yeah.
See that was my thing. Just for rapping, I never did a solo project. I always just did like
features.
features.
We were in a band together.
That's true.
It's called.
It was well. He rapped with us, United High, right?
It was United High.
Yeah. He rapped.
That's a good name. Who thought of that name?
We didn't do any shows, but like,
Well, so United High was a.
We're talking about practice, though. We're talking.
I was a drummer for United High. Shout out to Brian, Sammy, all them fools. JT.
shout out.
But we just never went anywhere. I remember actually we recorded a bunch of tracks, right? At like somebody's studio, and then dude just picked up and left.
Oh man.
Yeah, no.
Damn.
And then I fucking found him on LinkedIn like last year. I was like, "Hey, Seabreen, you got them tracks?" He's like,
Seabreen?
Seabreen, yeah,
Seabreen,
Seabreen,
wherever you are, Seabreen.
Yeah, Seabreen, I got your LinkedIn.
Give
dog."
those tracks
Damn.
back.
Yeah, and he was like, "I don't know, I was young then." I was like, "Yeah, I was."
Okay.
You
I was
know.
yeah, exactly. You
Okay.
know, he probably jams that at the end of the day and shit. But I just, in all honesty, in retrospect, even with United High, we never really kind of caught that same wind or movement that you guys did. Like we did. Slips
Yeah, you
once.
guys were kind of out there, and like I said, I was
We
on
were.
the.
We were. it was a lot of props to Jeezy for getting us a lot of gigs. You know?
Yeah.
He was a freestyle maniac.
He was the mouthpiece out there talking to everybody, getting his gigs. I cut you off. What were you gonna say?
Do you any of you guys remember? Well, is it probably you or you? I don't think it was Dex going with Jeezy to someone's house in Excelsior and rapping in their backyard.
Damn.
Maybe.
It was you?
We did a lot of weird.
We did a lot.
It was just y'all two though.
Me and Jeezy.
Yeah.
Okay, I could see that.
It was like a church event.
Damn.
Praise the Lord.
Wow.
Praise the
I remember
Lord.
we did a few church events.
That was
and
at
it was
my
like
house.
so cringe.
Wait, that was your house?
Wait, was
my
that your house?
Yeah, it was at my house.
damn,
It was like
okay.
it was like a youth group.
Okay,
And
I
then
think I'm remembering.
George came, and then I think it was one of y'all came.
And they're rapping in the backyard?
Yeah.
Yeah, me and Jeezy used to have
Yeah.
unrecorded types of songs together.
See, forefathers, you know who does that now?
Yeah.
La Russell.
I remember him in Excelsior because
but he
went
films
to,
it.
Yeah, he does. He's actually doing really
He
good.
went to Corpus.
Yeah.
Jeezy,
Yeah,
yeah,
come from the E, yeah. he went to Corpus.
He still lives near that too. Yeah.
Yeah, even
Shout out
with,
to
like,
Excelsior.
that's so funny, dude. That was your house.
Yeah.
Even
I
with
think it was you.
It was. Yeah, I remember the
probably
time.
was.
there was only one guy in LMNOP
Yeah.
with an afro.
Yeah. That ain't me. I'm bald.
Same gang. Same
And
gang.
the thing with LMNOP too is that it extended past just the core members, right?
Yeah.
Shout out to John,
yeah.
right? Shout out to
Shout out to
fucking
everyone.
Nino. Shout out
Yeah.
to, I mean, shit. You guys talk about it. Dave.
Dave,
DJ
Twins,
Blaze.
Hanson, Chew, DJ Blaze, DJ Blaze.
I mean, yeah. I mean, we got
Wow.
several DJs that impacted our careers, like you know,
DJ Strategy,
Strategy,
Stash
Swift Rock,
DJ Antrix,
You know,
RP Swift.
RP
Yeah.
Swift Rock.
yeah, man, Antrix, man, a whole lot of folks. DJ Pro was one with us, you know. But yeah, you talk about like, you know, eclectically our crew. We're like kind of like those folks. If you need something, we probably know somebody that can figure it out. Like if you
Yeah.
need a motorcycle fixed, hey, we got that.
John DeLeon.
You know?
Yeah, John. The whole last garage.
Yeah.
Blount, shout out Blount.
If you need to work on a car and leave it there for like a month, that's Dave, right? So
I remember he changed my old
Leave
one.
it there
Shout out to
for-
Dave, dog.
Wow.
he put transmission fluid in that mother.
Incredible kickboxer though. for real.
Yeah.
Yo, Cheeto, if you need a haircut.
Cheats.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Mr.
I remember he
Cheats.
used to cut my hair and he used to get so close to like my face, I couldn't like stop laughing. I was like shaking with giggles.
It's warm in here.
Chicutto, Chicutto.
Yeah, I mean, and Nino too, right?
Yeah.
Stash
Yes.
Magazine.
Yes,
Yeah.
man.
Wow.
Yeah.
Say it again.
Stash Magazine.
Stash
Wow.
Magazine, yeah.
I remember
Because
that
Nino was
magazine.
shorter, so the magazine was like,
Damn.
"How about this, bro?" I rap, yo. I was like,
That was at barbershop.
That- but
That's
I've never
funny.
seen that before, where it was just like
Yeah.
a-
Yeah.
It's supposed to be like a pocket, put in your pocket, like a flyer, right?
See?
So
That was a movement. That was like hyphy movement.
yeah, it was.
Right? That
It
was like hyphy
Yeah.
era.
That
It was. Yep.
And that's. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. I cut you off.
Oh, no, I wanted to ask if you were to say who he sounds like to you as far as like recognizable, well, not recognizable, like if you were to compare his style to someone, not saying that he sounds like that, but style comparable
Damn.
to, yeah, it
Cheeky?
would be.
He switches it up a lot.
Yeah.
It's never. It's so versatile. I don't know.
High school was like Busta
I don't
Rhymes
know.
with his pookie shells and shit.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I would
man.
say very not a particular rapper, but very southern. Right?
Yeah.
I'd say so. Yeah.
he's from the east though.
I would say maybe wordplay is like currency-ish, Wiz Khalifa-ish maybe, but not vocally sounding.
Yeah. Vocally, it was very sharp.
Yeah.
Very sharp.
Militant.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
syllables were punchy because of the West Coast Oakland thing, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. What would you say you sound like?
I don't know, bro. I don't know, man. It's just
Who'd you listen to a lot
God.
of? Like, if
I'm
you
sorry,
said,
Pac, but
Oh, he does the same.
I listen, bro. I listen, but you know, but Pac. But here's the thing: is like with me, it's not like you're gonna ask me a question and I know every single rhyme of somebody
Yeah.
or every
Yeah.
single album. I'm not gonna sit here and try to act like, oh yeah, that was 1990s. You know what I mean? Like my shit is just what intrigues me, and I could listen to almost anything. Like there was a moment when me and E used to listen to Alanis Morissette all the fucking time
When it
for
was
some
in
reason,
the
right?
90s.
So,
90s was
Yeah,
a different
yeah.
era though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to TRL.
so, but I think that's what makes like for me my sound different because like I like to mess around with my wordplay. I like to mess around with my tones.
You got a
I'll
lot of
sing.
influences.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but like Well, when you ask me what I listen to a lot of Emas. Like, and I shot this out because I'm like, I'll tell you right now, man, I'm like very blessed that, you know, when I rhyme with somebody, not only do I have a Dex beat, but I have an Emas on the same track, right? So it's like, you know, it ups your level, right?
It does.
You can't expect to say Emas gonna hit you up and say, "Hey, get on this track," and you're gonna come sideways. Like, you gotta come fucking with it. You know what I'm saying? Because he's gonna, if you decode Eric's shit,
Yeah.
it is on a different fucking level, and it's always been that way, right?
Yep.
It's that push, that iron sharpens iron type shit, right? When you got that dagger right behind your neck the whole time, and he's the one pushing you up that hill, your ass better get up off that hill, right? So Emas is a fucking, I swear, I say it all the time. If someone was to ask me who's like the most eclectic rapper that I've ever heard of, I don't even know if that's the right word for it, it's gonna be Emas every time.
I would have to agree.
That's straight up. That's straight up.
You'll
Nobody could touch his rhymes.
You'll show up to
No
the
lies.
studio. You'll show up to the studio with a 16, and he's like, "I wrote 24." And
Yeah,
you're like,
yeah.
all right, well, I gotta write 8 more bars. You should take me already a month to make.
Yeah, it's bananas, man. Like, if you really listen to it, it's not just put together, it's thought out, right? And I think that's what, I don't know, to me, I'm biased, right? That's what makes LMNOP a little different.
Yeah.
We formulate, we sit, we try to perfect, we try to make a song. There's rappers out there that can freestyle their asses off, but they can't make a fucking song.
Not a track
right?
to save their lives.
Shout out to Supernatural.
But like, dang.
yeah.
But like with
Is that
us,
where we
it's
at?
like the
Shout out
intention
to
is,
Jin the MC.
yeah.
Whoa, take
But
it.
shout out to Jin the MC, though.
Yeah,
Shout out to
Jin the MC,
I do
yeah,
fuck with you. You're a
And,
good guy.
you didn't go good for Chinese people, but they did good. I'm just like API, motherfucker.
No, but the intention behind each rhyme, I think, is what's dope. Like, when you really, you know, if you were to sit there and listen to a LMNOP track, if you haven't, like, if you sit there and you could just depict it and decode it, it's more than just words, right? So, especially when this motherfucker rhyming. So,
Fucking-
but yeah,
so
it's
If you were
so
to say,
true.
reverse question, if you could say who he sounds like to you, I understand he has his own aura, he
Yeah.
has his own energy, but if you were to compare it to someone
Yeah.
who,
I would like to also answer this question.
Yeah.
After you.
So, I mean, there's different versions of E, right? So he was a ragamuffin for a little while, right? And he
Oh,
was
man.
he was
that was a great era. That was a great era, though.
He was an honorary.
I
Fushigi.
apologize.
yeah.
I apologize.
No, but he was corrupt from Dog Pound style for a while. But
All amazing rappers.
you know, and in the 2000s, he was like Jay-Z-ish, right?
Yes.
But
See you walking into Koofy,
yeah. No, but
the visual got crazy.
yeah. But now, like, when I really sit there and I try to, like, say what is Emas close to, what lyricist is close to him as far as being able to, like, really spit a rhyme and formulate a rhyme, I would say J. Cole. Straight up.
Okay.
That's me. That's just
Before
me.
there was a J. Cole.
Yeah.
There was
Yeah.
Hey, I'm older.
Yeah.
I think I don't
Yeah,
know.
take that,
I
J.
think-
Cole.
Yeah, no lies here, no lies.
Yeah.
So, you know, MCs kind of develop into their style as they grow older, right? And I would have to say that, like Kendrick, you bring the same substance, but it's also very, with your voice, it's very distinguishable, right? Sometimes, like, people hear, like, tracks and they're like, oh, that's you rapping? Doesn't even sound like you, right?
Yeah.
You could tell that's Emas.
Yes.
Straight up. Oh, that's Eric. That's Emas. And he's always kind of like getting that attention because of it.
Yeah.
And so what I did notice is that recently there's been kind of like a, not a confidence, but it's just kind of like a calmness. A calmness to, even though it's a rapid flow, there's a calmness to it. Almost like it's like a calm before the storm. Like, you know, it'll all make sense, but the delivery is rapid fire. So I would have to say Kendrick, but pre-puberty.
So his balls didn't drop yet?
Nah, he's holding them. That's what it is.
You know, it's funny. I have conversations about Kendrick a lot, like debatable if he's good or not. You know,
Yeah. What do you think?
Oh, yeah. What side of the fence are you on that?
I think he's good. He has a lot of skill.
Yeah.
I think my only thing about Kendrick is I don't like feeling depressed after listening to a song. So it's like it's too emo, it's too depressing sometimes, you know.
Yeah. And that's why I didn't make an album. No, but it's true though. I mean,
I have conversation with Arnold actually a lot about Kendrick
Shout out to
because
Sinistra.
shout out to Android, Sinistra.
Love you, boy.
Yeah, Kendrick, he's undeniably good, but as far as like someone who's like older than him, I guess, I don't know. I think I'm older.
yeah, I think you
It's
are.
just like, damn, I don't want to feel depressed every time I listen to.
But like Kendrick is
you
like
know?
a movie, right?
Yeah.
That's why I listen to like shit I listen to, because I don't want to hear the normal ass shit no more, right? Everybody
Ooh.
can say shit, but if I listen to you, gotta move me. You know what I'm saying? And so when we talk about Kendrick, to me, I'm like, okay, this motherfucker, I could picture everything he's saying. And yeah, it might make me feel like fucking punching somebody or doing some shit, but it made me get there. So if someone can do that to you, that shit is fucking dope. That's just my opinion, right? Just when I listen to you, I'm like, oh shit, I am here now, right? You elevated my mind state. It's not just
It's a
dumbed
motivation.
down.
It's motivational, right?
It's not just listening to fucking words and a beat, right? It's like, where did you take my mind? You know, that's where I'm at in my age. You know what I'm saying?
I say with Kendrick, it's the full body of work, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have Section 80, and then you have Good Kid, Mad City, all the way up.
Mad
to,
City was I think the best one.
Mad City was the best one because that was him at his youth.
Yeah.
Right, retelling that story, and then his last album, that's him kind of like going through that process of him, you know, getting that therapy and going through that adult shit.
Yeah.
And for him to be able to kind of like spit that adult shit over like some dope ass beats is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, take out the foo all that shit is dope. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I fucks with Kendrick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But going back to what you were saying about the calmness, that's from Dex, because there was a time where we were in the studio together. I don't know where you were. You weren't there yet or something, or you left.
Yeah.
But like, we were recording a couple songs. There was a list. Okay, you got to do this. You're not done with that. You got to, you know, you
He
got
kind of
to.
drove it. He drove the.
Yeah, I'm like, okay. And then he's like, dude, I hear you. Because at the time when we were doing Three Kings, I was listening to a lot of Pusha T.
Yeah.
And he's like, I hear he knew that too. He's like, I hear that, and I hear what you're picking up from him is letting it breathe. He's like, lean into like letting it breathe a little bit.
Using your vocal.
And just like give some pockets for people to allow information to
catch it.
sink in.
You don't have to like,
Use a process.
I think as a West Coast like MC, you tend to use a lot, like put in more words, right?
Yeah. I think it was Nikki who said, just because you rap fast doesn't mean you're a good rapper, you know?
Yeah.
So that's a twister.
But he's a good rapper that raps fast.
Yeah.
So is Christian Conflict.
and that's why you're
But
an
it's-
MC. There it is, dog.
It's per your taste of you know music and MC. You know, a lot of people like different things, and one thing that when I was recording, Dex is just like, let it breathe, calm down. It doesn't have to be like, you know, super showy. Sometimes like what you say is like the most important thing. So
Yes,
that's how I slowed down a little bit the past few songs, you know.
So speaking on that, do you have like, how do you feel about like that new like rap shit? Are you into it?
Yeah, there's a lot of new shit I like.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, my thing is like, there's so much new shit.
Yeah.
There is-
It's just that
So it's like-
accessibility is
Yeah.
more
Yeah.
there, right?
So it's
Yeah.
like who's out. I mean, there's so many dope things, right? I'm not
And you
one
can get your-
to be like, oh shit, nah, it's forward because I'm old. No, it ain't like that. Like I'll listen to it. Like La Russell's dope, right?
Yo, the Russell, yeah.
Because you got substance behind this shit,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, there's just a lot of folks just pushing, and I think like now that it's not a pass a flyer, you know, era in life. That social media thing is everything, and how to market yourself is everything. So this is their flowers, right? This is how they do it, and it's funny because the older you get, it's either you're like, nah, I remember my day, right? But then now it's just like, hey man, that is dope. That is a hustle.
Yeah.
How did you do it? That shit is dope, right? Because for us, I mean, like, we didn't catch a specific wave of anything other than us self-promoting ourselves, putting flyers up,
Your
and
own wave.
hoping, and us hoping that we get the support of our people and they help us move on, right? But it's kind of like that. I mean, it's kind of dope. Like all these new rappers, I give it up to them. Guap Dad, all that. All that stuff.
Guap Dad is dope. Yeah.
He's funny.
Yeah, that's your favorite rapper's favorite rapper.
Yeah.
He's entertaining. I like Chicken Adobo, so I'm with it.
I recently heard.
Yeah, that whole album is it's Filipino because Ill Minded is produced I think every track.
Yeah.
So it's just dope, man. Just how everybody can link up easier now, right? And make things happen. I think is dope, right?
Do you ever think like how LMNOP would have been in kind of like the technology era?
Oh, if you would have raised in this boom.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Dex used to
be-
talk about that all the time, right? But I think with LMNOP, it was just always a very important thing that people understood from us. It wasn't necessarily about blowing. It was about, you know, did you understand us? Did you get us? Did you feel us? Right? It was always a movement of love. It was never, we did a fucking million shows.
Yeah.
Did any of us ever say, okay, this is your part, this is your part? Every show we did, right? Whether if it was paid $50 or $500 or $1,000 or whatever it might be, it went to a pot to fund our next project. It was to fund our merch. And it's dope because sometimes you'll go around Daly City, you see a motherfucker with an LMNOP shirt, you're like, how the fuck? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that shit's, they might pass you and not even know that you were behind that. And I think that's the dope part. That's the super cool part about our
And
time.
the music was the social media.
Yeah.
You know, is nowadays it's like they're using.
It was just social. There was no social media.
It was
You had
it
to
was
be
so
outside.
you had to be doing shows or record and release. You
You had to
know,
be at the parties, you had to be
handing
out.
it out.
Yeah,
you
you
know,
had to be out.
and that was the thrill of it too. Like if you know it. If there was technology back then and social media and like, you know, Instagram or YouTube, it was like, I don't know how we would go forward because then the social media is at the forefront. Like wanting to be out there is more important than like making this music, you know?
Yeah. And I think that's an important thing to kind of like call out, right? It's that back then there was no social media.
Yeah.
There was no need to get clout. There was no need to kind of like find that identity because just like what Dex said in that fucking car back from Berkeley or wherever is that we'll figure it out
We'll
later.
figure it out later.
Yeah.
And that's
Damn.
kind of like how you guys are. That's,
Yeah,
that's
man.
what you guys were. It's very grassroots. It's very from the ground up.
Yeah.
Damn.
Just speaking
wow.
on the ground.
Wow.
Just
Did I
speaking
tell
on
you I
Dex.
rap?
Yeah.
Hey, dude.
Hey, you need to say, I still rap or I'm a rapper. And on these podcasts, I used to be a rapper.
Yeah.
Man, you would kill, man. If you had never heard Kumo beat Brett Falco, man, he rips it.
It's weird, like
Go.
it's weird, man. Just kind of like, you know, Andre 3000, he said this thing where it's like, you know, hip hop is like a young man's sport, right? There's gonna be a time that you'll like wake up and you'll be like, you know, this is just like, I'm not cool. You know what I mean? I find if I were to write a rap, it'd be about like my gout. Or like my plantar fasciitis, you know?
Yeah.
Getting the perm.
And if you don't want to hear a depressed album from someone who's younger than you, you ain't trying to listen to my shit, dog.
But there's an audience for it.
There is.
know?
I've really like found a spot in this whole like podcast thing.
Yeah.
You know, because it gives a chance to like outline shit like this. Like you said, right? If there's somebody who walks around with an LMNOP shirt and doesn't know that you're behind that, it's cool. But it's also cool to put your fucking footprint, that digital footprint. So hey,
Right.
now we have
You
a
had,
reference.
you had to do it outside before it went digital, right? You guys were part of that process where it was like Friendster, MySpace.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like that was like people weren't on their phones like that,
Yeah.
right? They were out, you know. Like camera phones really started getting popping until like the last 6 years, maybe 10 years, right?
Yeah.
And we used to call people.
Yeah.
We used to call people, be like, hey, we got a show, and like
I'd be at the Fish Hans.
spend an hour, like,
Come on, man.
calling people and shit.
going down your contacts, me like, yo, we got a show. This is where it's at. Whatever.
Getting the email on the email blast. It's fine.
Yeah, even before email.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You know, looking at this table right now, I would have to say that I am humbled because each and every one of y'all are creatives, and you were there before the time.
Yeah.
Eaton, LMNOP, Jan. This guy's a fucking maniac. He break dances and he has luxurious hair, and he's one of the.
I love hair.
And he's one of the most artistic and creative
Yeah.
people I know.
Right.
What's your b-boy name? Kid Glide. Kid Glide. Look him
Glide?
up. Look him up. Kid Glide.
With a Y or with an I? With an I. Yeah.
I wonder if there was like a chubby b-boy and his name was Bob Boy.
Hello.
I used to rap. No, honestly though, thank you both for coming.
Man.
Letting Dex fucking like live on in his memory, showing this and explaining your story for your kids. And I know you don't have kids because you still sung in every MC out there.
Damn.
He used to rap. No, he doesn't rap.
But it's like
Foster care.
but I mean, like this is amazing, and I think
Yeah.
it's well deserved. Everybody deserves to tell their story, to see the impact that you made in the Bay, in the world, wherever it is.
Nah, man.
Jen, last words. Do you have any questions?
Let me see.
Oh shit! Did you write them down? Oh my bad.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to kind of like share real quick. Can I hear myself?
Yeah.
Yeah. I hear you.
There was this time where Dex didn't rap, right? And he was the little brother to my girl at the time. And then he invited us to a talent show, which was at El Camino.
Yeah. I remember.
And I don't know if you guys were
Damn,
like
yeah.
a part of it, but it was kind of like me like supporting and like going to see Dex do like something that we've never seen him do before. Because
Yeah.
he was a little brother and he would just kind of like be around the house. Never seen him do like a rap before.
Yeah.
But then that night, he kind of busted out and surprised us and performed on stage.
Yeah.
He did it really well. And I remember sitting in the audience and I was like really surprised and I was like, whoa, where'd all this come from?
Yeah.
And you guys might have been there or might have not, or I'm not sure, but I think that was the point where I kind of like seen Dex kind of give birth to like a whole new person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then from then on, it just like skyrocketed. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
You see, he was there at from the ground up, dog.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wait. That was a talent show where he was on stage with like a bunch of people, right?
Yeah.
It
Okay,
had
so
to
that
be.
was
It had to
that
be,
was
yeah,
us,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. So he's
What
been
year was
he's
that?
been a fan since day one.
Damn,
That's gotta be like 96, 90, no, 97, 98.
98. 98.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man.
Wow. You
But,
were
hey,
at that. That was crazy.
Yeah. I mean, that's just to show y'all music just will change things and bring a different person out of you. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? But I mean, dude, hey, but I'm a Filipino motherfucker, so we got pasalubongs for the brothers. For the brothers.
Oh.
You got that, but it don't end there. You got the Dex
Wow.
forever on the backside. All right. So all of y'all get a shirt. Right.
Thank you, y'all.
Hand it out that way.
Wait, which one's this?
It's everybody's, but
Thank you.
see, I even got it in a plastic bag. But I know you guys have seen, like, I know you were at the Dex's wake
Yeah.
and shit. We had a bunch of pins made out for Dex. And it, you know, if you know Dex, especially, you know, Dex, you know, the past few years, he was big into pins. We're all big into pins. So I got
Yeah.
a pin here, I got a pin here, right? So we big into pins and
I'm big into that pin right there.
Pin, but
Pinocchio.
but here's a very limited edition Dex Beats
Oh.
gold pin for y'all,
Come
man. So
on.
all y'all
Thank you.
get there you
Wow.
go, Jen.
Nice.
Sorry. To,
Yeah, man. So these are not
I get
even
that pin?
released yet. Oh yeah, it's a small version of that.
Thank you, y'all. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
But I will say, so I mean, you know, Dex, we do have his merch out now, so it's on the goldseal.com, and it's the Dex Beats Forever collection. So out there, if you like these pins, you know, all the proceeds will go to his family, and then also the proceeds will come to, you know, funding the next colorways of these pins, right? So
That's
we're gonna
tight.
have different
What's the website
seasons. So it just rolled out actually yesterday. So it's www.thegoldseal.com, and then in collections you're looking for Dex Beats Forever collection. So you'll also find the Dex Beats Forever black with the gold
Nice.
Wu-Tang color shirts.
My brother would love it.
So But yeah, no, I mean, like I said, I mean, you guys, I've listened to you guys since, you know, Nels kind of started posting this stuff, and I'm a big fan. Like I said, I mean, I spent a lot of late nights traveling. I travel for work, and when I put you guys on, I'll download it, and I feel like I'm listening to a little bit of home, right? So, you know, and I really do appreciate y'all hustle and your consistency. I think that's something that lacks in this world is the consistency. Yeah. So you guys consistently put out some dope ass shit, man. So I really appreciate that, and like I said, man, shout out to y'all for letting us on this mug and
I mean, you guys are pioneers too with what you guys do individually and also what you're doing here. So yeah, flowers to you guys, all three of you.
I love and appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, man.
It's very familiar energy, even though this is the first time I'm really like sitting down with y'all.
We eating.
Come on, man. Come on, man. Shout out to Arnold. When I think of Dex, the word that comes to mind, because, you know, as you're saying, we eat, has always been buttery.
Yeah.
Like the way he does his stuff is it's umami, as Rommel was saying. You know what I mean? It's that like it's that good stink, and it's very refreshing to see that how much love and support he has from you two, because it's real.
Yeah.
Your boy feel it for y'all, man.
Yeah, appreciate you, man.
Yeah.
Dex Beats forever, man.
Dex Beats forever. I'm not gonna lie, I was fucking nervous going into the show. I woke up, I listened to E's track. Just released a new track on Spotify.
Hell yeah, that
produced by Dex Beats.
Produced by Dex Beats.
Engineered by Android.
Hey.
Yeah. And I got teary-eyed. And it was because I needed this to be perfect. I needed everybody to know the story. I needed people to hear the love and the meaning that I've been feeling ever since.
Yeah.
And I'm really happy that we did that today. So thank you.
Appreciate you, man.
Right on.
Last words.
Thank you so much. Rest in peace, our brother Dex Beats. Listen to the single, Wait My Turn, produced by Dex Beats. Single 23 Till Infinity, single called Westboro. All, you know,
The
this
Borough?
year.
You
The
see
Borough.
that?
That's an Easter egg for you. That's an Easter egg track. Yeah, those are the three newest tracks. So.
And when are you gonna release the YouTube video of how to tie that sweater?
Ooh, dang!
Right now. So
Check my TikTok.
step one, you take the sweater, H&M sweater, you fold it down like that, right? You could either flip it over like this, and then, you know, you just
Bing bong.
bing,
I'm not gonna lie, like, you know, I make jokes, but yo, your style's sick, dog.
and then
He's the only motherfucker who can do that.
Yeah, he's the only one who could do that, dog.
Brings it all
And you
together. The
can't
Dex
even fuck
Beat
with it.
pin brings it all together.
Yeah.
I am, you know, we're very blessed and very fortunate to spend time with y'all. I'm really thankful that this happened, and episode
180.
180. Love
Because
and
we get
appreciate
him with the
y'all.
180.
Hey,
there we go.
Appreciate y'all, man, for real.
appreciate y'all.
Clap it
Dex
up.
Beats
Much
forever.
love, Carol,
Episode 180, FREE99
Carter,
podcast. Love y'all.
Kaylani.
Oh, you had a Carter?